This is a classic example of what I would call a sleeper car. 2004 Pontiac GTO. This is actually a Holden, which I was informed, Australian-made vehicle, and it's 21 years old, and it's only listed at $24,900. You can walk through our showroom or around the lot, and for that price, you'll never beat this kind of a car for performance anyways. Fun to drive, but I've never had it out to really press it, take it through the roundabouts, and see what it's all about. I know that it has full independent suspension all the way around, disc brakes, traction control, all of it. So we're gonna find out why this car is so popular with some of the younger guys, and I'm talking about 30s and 40s now. You don't have to be 30 or 40 years old to enjoy the car. It's a fantastic car. So it's been sitting on the lot for a while, and it's, you know, when a lot of people think about unique classic cars, they think that we're only selling 50s, 60s, and 70s muscle cars. There's a whole new generation and some fantastic cars now that are 20 plus years old. So we're gonna take this out and we're gonna take it for a rep and find out what all the hype's about.
Real cars, real guys, and real talk. Live from the gearbox at Unique Classic Cars. Welcome to Motorhood.
Independent rear suspension as we exit out. You can tell right away when you get into this car that it is tight. And when I say tight, it means it's still feels very new. It's only got 24,000 original miles on it. And I am not gonna chance it here, even though I want to, because this car has plenty of acceleration. Wow, good jump, and we haven't even had it out yet. I'll have to say the ergonomics in this car are solid. If you notice in the back, it's got, well, 2+2 buckets in the back as well. I'm gonna take this through some roundabouts here. Roll center feels really good. Again, we are about, hey, when I said I was gonna take it through a roundabout, I wasn't kidding. Naturally aspirated too. 350 horsepower in this car, 375 pounds-foot of torque. It doesn't look like much. I think that's, you know, that's part of the reason that it's probably sat for a bit. But there's definitely a market for these cars, and we're about to find out why. But again, this is 2004, so 21 years old now. It's hard to believe, but this is, I think by definition in the state of Minnesota anyways, a classic car, right? It's 20, anything 20 and older. But this is an example of a car that is super fun to drive. And it, much like, I would say it's comparable to the 94, 95, and 96 Impala SS.
But I think the use case for this car is that you want a fun daily.
Yeah.
But the question is, would you daily something that has this much horsepower? Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I'll tell you why, because it runs and it's tuned perfectly. I mean, you could drive this around town, crawl through a Target parking lot.
But maybe not a Minnesota daily.
It doesn't matter, no. But when we say daily here in Minnesota, we're usually talking about, you know, May through September. Although here we are in the middle of October and we've had, you know, 80s up to 90. Today it's beautiful. You're looking at about 70 and sunshine, so I feel pretty comfortable in this car too. Normally some of these smaller vehicles, you know, again, I go back to ergonomics. We talked about that a few episodes back with a Ferrari. We have another 04, a 360 Spider, actually in the showroom right now, and that was one of their first attempts at making a performance vehicle just more comfortable for everyday driving. And they did a really, really good job with the inside of this car. This is the automatic. You could get this in a 6-speed. 0 to 60 on this, 13.9 seconds. I take that back. 0 to 60 is 5 seconds.
14 seconds is horrible, George.
13.9 in the quarter mile.
There we go.
and reaching a speed of 102.
There we go.
So here we go. We're gonna take her zipper. Look at this. See, this is what I'm talking. Even in,
Holy okay.
not bad, not bad, not bad. You have to admit, it jumped out of the other side of that roundabout on a full circle. Pretty nice.
I'm just trying to not drop this camera, to be honest.
I do. I mean, and we always say this. You'll hear us talk about this a lot. Never judge a car until you drive it. This is a great example right here. What did this car go for new? Do you know?
I do not know.
I think close to 50?
Something along there.
I'm interested to see how this stacks up against your Pontiac.
After seeing you drive this, I'm scared to get you in my car.
Well, you're going to take this out. I have to let you, because I want your opinion, having driven your car as an everyday driver, what you think of this. Now, that is not how to drive a Pontiac.
Well, that's a vibe.
Get your vibe moving, buddy. You're not vibing. Overall, I like. It's a fun car to drive. And by the way, if you're interested in this car, the boss said he'll give you $1,000 off. How's that? Again, uniqueclassiccars.com. So now we're going to compare this to an 06 Pontiac GXP, which is the souped version of the Grand Prix.
It's a 5.3 liter LS4 V8 with a 4-speed automatic with Taptronic.
By the way,
electronic tap shift.
Dylan owns this car.
Yeah, that's my whip.
And you're a little bit hesitant to let me take it out. Was it because of the way I drove the GTO? I had an 04 Pontiac Grand Prix. It was not the GXP, so I've never driven one of these, and I'm dying to see how this car stacks up against that GTO. What did you think initially, having driven this car regularly? What did you think in comparison?
Well, that'd be a spoiler. I guess you're gonna have to drive it and find out.
I'm gonna have to get in here and take it for a rip. I can tell immediately, just even exiting this parking lot, what you are talking about. The ride in this car doesn't feel nearly as rigid. Is that a word that I could use?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. You know, I would like to run a public service announcement for some people to let them know that roundabouts are not 4-way stops. This car has more of a combination of luxury and sport, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's bigger.
Well, see, because the Grand Prix originally was just like a family sedan, but then for some reason they had the good idea of, hey, you see that 2004 Tahoe over there? Let's rip the engine out of that and shove it in a Grand Prix. So that's exactly what they did. So this has like I said, it has a transverse LS4 5.3 liter V8 with an electronic 4-speed automatic with tap shift on the steering wheel.
I can tell that they are very, very comparable when it comes to horsepower, right? That GTO was 350.
This one's 303 horse, 323 foot-pounds of torque.
And this is an FF car, right?
It is FF, yes. Front engine, front wheel drive.
It completely is a different feel to have something pulling you versus pushing you.
For something that looks like a Grand Prix on the outside, except for the GXP badge, what do you think?
This car rides nice, and like I said, it's a combination of sport and luxury. You know, I had a Nissan Maxima. This car feels heavier.
You think this one feels heavier?
Yeah, than the Maxima, for sure.
Oh, I meant the other car.
No, the funny thing is, you mentioned that, but that GTO does feel heavier, and I don't know if that's the suspension. Jeremy said that's because it was rear-wheel drive.
I think that's bogus.
I don't know, but it felt heavy, but it wasn't bad to me. This car feels a lot less rigid. I mean, I know that you were telling me that the suspension wasn't going to quite be, but it's
not, I'll say this, it's not like cloud soft, but it's also not like a Ferrari where you go over a bump and the whole car is jumping.
Yeah, you feel everything.
But the question is, if these two cars were on the lot, and I don't even think the MSRP is, I don't remember what the MSRP for those two vehicles are, to be honest. But let's say that they were equally priced just for argument's sake. Which one would you take?
What about the mileage?
Let's say they had the exact same miles.
So both with like 25K?
25,000 miles. Cars are the colors that they are now.
I think that's kind of a no-brainer.
Well, which one are you taking?
The GXP.
Yeah, that's what's up.
It's bigger. It's super responsive. See that? Wow.
It carves.
It does.
I give her a little. It doesn't have a ton of jump because it's still only 300 horse. But I mean, for what you need it to be.
Everyday driver, right. And you can still accelerate, pass cars. You know, that's what, when you're dealing with an everyday driver, that's what you want to be able to do, right? Is enter the freeway at speed, pass somebody quickly if you need to.
Yep.
300 horsepower is plenty to do that. Why do we never see these come in?
Like a GXP?
Yeah.
Well, one, they're really rare because everybody and their brother beats Grand Prix to death.
You're right.
And because of that, it's kind of hard for that car to stay like functional, especially when they have cars like, you have your 90s Impalas, you got your 2000s Ford Escapes, all these other vehicles. Everybody's still driving them when they can, but the GXPs, because they're transverse and it's got all that power up front, and it's a front, the car needs a little bit more TLC than a normal just beater does. And I think because of that, most of them either just went to the wayside, or the people that do have them and know what they have kept them nice and just don't sell them.
Prior to you and this, I hadn't seen one since I saw one on the showroom floor 20 years ago.
Exactly. And it's just because I don't know if they just didn't produce a lot, if they didn't sell a lot. Well, obviously they didn't sell a lot because Pontiac is no longer a company.
Where did you find this car?
This one was actually at Unique, of all places. Have you ever heard of Unique Classic Cars?
And then I'm like, we've never seen one of these, but obviously you had.
This car came in and it was, I think it originally had 60,000 miles on it. Had a little bit less paint chips than it does now. I kind of have to drive this car during the winter, which sucks. I mean, it's still not a very good car to drive during that. Still not four-wheel drive. It's front-wheel drive,
which helps.
It helps a little bit. Yep, but yeah, it works. It's a good car. I have no complaints about it, except for the fact it's a GXP, and then that transverse has some issues. If I will knock it, the transverse does come with issues. I did have to rebuild the transmission once because it completely broke on the way to work one day. My accelerator basically hit the floor, did nothing, and my first gear was gone behind me about 50 yards back.
Oh my God.
So other than the transmission exploding, and the fact that this is actually a Pontiac vehicle, the other one is technically a Holden, which is an Australian manufacturer. It was imported to North America and then sold under the Pontiac badge. Some you can still find the Holden badge on the actual engine cover, but mine is an actual Pontiac made by Pontiac in North America. Obviously, parts excluded.
That is a real American car.
An actual American vehicle, yes.
Solid. In this business, we hear guys talk about nostalgia and memories and a car I once had. This really brought back memories, and it always hammers home that I had one when I was younger. And 20 years ago, I had a Grand Prix. I didn't have the GXP, and after driving that, you really do appreciate the way that car is put together. No question about it. Unbelievable. Very nice ride. I can't believe that's got 125,000 miles on it versus 25,000 miles.
With a rebuilt transmission.
With a rebuilt transmission.
To be fair.
But to me, driving them both, that Scoot's a little bit more. It's got, you know, close to another 50 horsepower. And if you were in the right part of the country, you could make this your everyday driver all year round. It's a fun car, and I get why some of the younger guys love them. They love them. It's fantastic. Not even a question. But I will say...
What about a Charger?
Yeah. I don't know about that. Fun car. That guy was not behaving. We did not drive like that. But if I had to choose between the two, I like the GXP because it's a little bit bigger. It just felt like a little bit more of a luxury ride, you know? I like cars that are a great combination of luxury and sport, kind of like the mid-90s Impalas. What about you? After driving that, what did you think of the GTO?
All right, you got me in
There's
frame.
nobody in there, though. There's nothing on the screen.
Yeah, there is. You're wearing sunglasses.
I know, but I can't see you in the... Oh, yeah, there it is. Got it. Well, these things, yeah.
George Blaze.
All right.
Christ. So I did drive the 04. Honestly, it had a weird weight to it, if I was going to say anything, and I think that more so just comes from maybe just the suspension. Maybe it could be I'm just not used to the two-door version. I'm not really sure. But it did have more go than my car, and obviously that's my daily over there, the GXP. I think that this would be a great car for people if they want a nice, fun car that's not like extremely too powerful that you can't have fun with it and drive it every day.
Right.
I like the car, but I drive basically its twin every day as my daily driver. So driving that Pontiac GXP and then getting into the GTO, I don't know if personally I would justify the jump. I like my car the way it is. Yes, it's a smaller engine. Yes, it's a 5.3. But I like it.
Yeah.
These cars, either way, it doesn't matter which one you get, you're gonna like them. Yeah. They're both good cars. I'm not saying I like this one more because this one sucks. I'm not saying that at all. They're both great cars. Whether it's a Pontiac / Holden or an actual honest to God Pontiac, they're now rare because they just don't make them anymore. So
right.
Either way, you're gonna have a car that they don't make. Forgot one more thing. Gas it.